Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Denny Hamlin, NASCAR's Relentless contender James Dennis Allen, Denny Hamlin, born November 18, 1980, in Tampa, Florida, has become one of the defining drivers of modern NASCAR. For nearly 2 decades in the Cup Series, he's been a constant threat to win, a polarizing personality, and a key figure in shaping the sport's future as both driver and team owner. Early life and path to NASCAR. Hamlin grew up in Chesterfield, Virginia. Like many racers, his journey began in go-karts at a very young age. By his mid-teens, he was already winning major karting events and quickly moved into mini stocks and late-model stock cars at local short tracks. In 2003, he had a breakout season in late models, winning an eye-popping number of races and poles at regional tracks. That dominant run caught the attention of Joe Gibbs Racing, JGR, who signed him to a development deal. In 2004-2005, Hamlin ran select races in NASCAR's Truck, ARCA, and Busch, now Xfinity, series, proving he could adapt quickly to heavier stock cars and tougher competition. Breakthrough with Joe Gibbs Racing. Late in 2005, Hamlin was given a shot in the number 11 Cup Series car for Joe Gibbs Racing. He made the most of it, earning strong finishes and showing the poise of a veteran. In 2006, he became the full-time driver of the number 11, a seat he still holds. His rookie season in the Cup Series was exceptional. He swept both races at Pocono Raceway. He qualified for the playoffs, then called the chase, the first full-time rookie to do that. He claimed the Cup Series Rookie of the Year title. From that point on, Hamlin established himself as a fixture at the front of the field and a regular playoff contender. A specialist in crown jewel races. Hamlin's career is defined not only by how many races he has won, but by which races he's conquered. Over time, he's built a reputation as one of the great big race drivers in NASCAR history. Some of his most important wins include Daytona 503 victories, including back-to-back wins, Southern 500 at Darlington, multiple wins at one of NASCAR's toughest and most historic tracks, Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte, a victory in NASCAR's longest and one of its most grueling races. He's also dominant at certain tracks. Pocono Raceway in particular has been a personal playground for Hamlin, where he has accumulated multiple wins and often been the car to beat. On intermediate tracks and flat ovals, his smooth driving style and ability to manage long green flag runs stand out. By the mid-2020s, Hamlin's Cup win total placed him firmly among the top winners in NASCAR history, in the same statistical neighborhood as several Hall of Famers. The missing championship despite the wins, the accolades, and the consistency. One storyline follows Denny Hamlin more than any other. He has not yet secured a NASCAR Cup Series championship. He has come painfully close, multiple seasons finishing near the top of the standings, several championship 4 appearances under NASCAR's current playoff format, years where he won multiple races, led a ton of laps, and still just missed the title when it came down to the final race. Because of this, Hamlin is often mentioned as the best driver without a championship. It's a label he openly dislikes, but it has become part of his narrative. Each year he returns determined to finally erase that asterisk and prove he can close out a title. Denny Hamlin, the team owner. 2311 Racing. Hamlin's impact on NASCAR goes beyond his own driving. In 2020, he partnered with NBA legend Michael Jordan to create a new Cup Series organization, 2311 Racing, pronounced 2311. The team began competing in 2021 with Bubba Wallace as the driver of the number 23 car. As an active driver becoming a co-owner of another Cup team, Hamlin took on a unique dual role. still racing for Joe Gibbs Racing while helping build a separate Toyota-backed organization from the ground up. Key points in 23's rise include Bubba Wallace scoring a Cup victory, a historic and highly visible moment for the sport. The team expanding to a second car with established and young talent. Rapid improvement in performance, with multiple wins and playoff appearances by its drivers. Through 23XI, Hamlin has become part of NASCAR's next generation of leadership, pushing for modern facilities, better use of data, more diverse sponsors, and a more polished image that can attract new fans and partners to the sport. Personality, media, and the villain role. Hamlin isn't just known for results. He's known for what he says and how he carries himself. In an era where many drivers choose to be cautious in front of the microphone, he often speaks bluntly about competitors, officiating, and the business side of NASCAR. That honesty has made him polarizing. Some fans appreciate his willingness to say what others might only think. Others see him as arrogant, a villain to boo on race day. He leaned into this visibility by starting his own podcast, where he breaks down races, explains strategy, and shares behind-the-scenes stories from the garage. At times, his openness has even gotten him fined when he has admitted, for example, to intentionally moving another driver out of the way. Hamlin has also appeared as a TV analyst, featured in music videos, and on the covers of NASCAR video games, making him one of the sport's most recognizable modern stars. Legacy and what comes next. Looking at his career as a whole, Denny Hamlin's legacy includes dozens of Cup Series victories, wins in nearly all of NASCAR's most prestigious events, long-term consistency as a playoff contender, a central role in building 23XI Racing into a competitive team, being named among NASCAR's greatest drivers of all time. The one question that remains is whether he will capture that elusive Cup Series championship before he decides to step away from full-time competition. If he does, it will likely change the way many fans and historians talk about him, upgrading his status from all-time great without a title to one of the most complete resumes in NASCAR history. If he doesn't, his career will still stand as an example of sustained excellence. A driver who won big races, shaped the sport as an owner, stirred conversation as a media voice, and never stopped chasing the one trophy that got away. Denny Hamlin, the driver who refused to go away. James Dennis Allen. Denny Hamlin is one of those rare drivers who has lived almost his entire adult life in NASCAR's spotlight. Born November 18, 1980, in Tampa, Florida, and raised in Chesterfield, Virginia, he went from small local tracks to being a weekly threat in the NASCAR Cup Series, all while evolving into a team owner, media voice, and one of the sport's most polarizing figures. For nearly 2 decades, Hamlin has been a symbol of consistency, speed, and frustration all at once. A superstar with multiple crown jewel wins and dozens of victories, still chasing that one missing piece, a Cup Series championship. Childhood, karting, and local short tracks. Hamlin's story starts like many classic racers' stories, with a kid in a go-kart and parents willing to support a dream. He started racing go-karts at around 7 years old. As a teenager, he started stacking up karting wins and championships, showing natural car control and racecraft. In his mid-teens, he switched from karts to mini-stocks and then late-model stock cars, which are the backbone of racing culture in the American Southeast. Local fans in Virginia and the surrounding region quickly learned his name. In 2003, he put together a legendary late-model season at local tracks, dozens of wins, a ridiculous number of poles, and the kind of dominance that made bigger teams pay attention. That year was essentially his call-up season, the year where it became clear he didn't belong at the local level for long. Joe Gibbs Racing and the road to the Cup Series. Hamlin's breakthrough came when Joe Gibbs Racing, JGR, one of NASCAR's powerhouse organizations, signed him as a development driver. This move changed his life. 2004-2005, proving ground in these years, Hamlin ran Select Truck Series races, ARCA starts, Busch, Xfinity Series appearances. He didn't just survive at those levels. He adapted quickly, running up front, earning top tens, and proving he could handle faster cars and stronger competition. In 2005, he ran full-time in the Busch Series, finishing near the front in points as a rookie, which only boosted his stock. The number 11 car late in 2005, JGR gave him a shot in the number 11 FedEx Toyota at the Cup level. That car, previously driven by various names, would become his number and his identity. He did well enough in those partial starts that the decision was simple. In 2006, Hamlin became the full-time driver of the number 11 in the Cup Series. That one move launched what would become a long, stable driver-team relationship rarely seen in modern sports. Rookie sensation and early success. Hamlin's 2006 rookie season wasn't just good, it was historic. He swept both races at Pocono Raceway, a tricky triangle-shaped track that eats up inexperienced drivers. He qualified for NASCAR's chase for the Cup playoffs as a rookie, something that had never been done before under that system. Unsurprisingly, he earned Rookie of the Year honors. From that first full season on, Hamlin established himself as a weekly contender. Unlike some rookies who spike then fade, he stayed. Every year, the number 11 was part of the story, building a resume, wins, playoffs, and big moments over time. Hamlin developed a very clear racing identity, smooth but aggressive when needed. Excellent at managing long runs on worn tires. Dangerous on intermediate ovals, flat tracks, and especially at places like Pocono, Martinsville, and Darlington.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.